There's something special about these trees. It's the way they look, the character they have, the presence they have in the landscape, the smell, the touch, the feel. There's no other trees like them. These trees have spirit. They've got presence. When people meet these trees, they can't help but be filled with a sense of awe. They are elders in the landscape. There isn't anybody I've brought here who doesn't feel it. There's something that makes people feel they have a relationship to these trees, that touches people in a special way. This is Lutruwita, Tasmania. And these are Waialina, cider gums, the weeping trees.
The concept of landscape doesn't exist in nature. Landscape is a cultural construct. We use the word landscape when we really mean something more like view. It's an idea we carry around in our heads. This is especially true of people from a Western background. When I go into nature, I've got a kind of blueprint in my mind. When I see something I want to paint, it's often because it corresponds to those patterns I've internalised. Patterns that have probably been handed down to me through my cultural heritage. Right after I left school, I got interested in the Franklin River blockade. I didn't get arrested, but I went down to the river to be part of the protest. And I was aware of the images being produced at the time, like Peter Dombrovskis's famous photo of Rock Island Bend. That was an exciting time, with nature and art and activism all coming together in new ways. Aspects of my art grew out of that experience, but I've always been careful to keep my work more independent, not so much linked to specific places, but more of a response to the experience of being in a place. When I was younger, I used to camp in the Central Highlands with my brothers. We'd make several trips each summer. To go to the Highlands is a pilgrimage, in a way. It's a place where you escape the ordinariness of everyday life and come back refreshed. Some people go to church for that, but others go to the bush to get the same result, to commune with something bigger than yourself. At first, it was just the beauty of the cider gums, the patterning of their bark that drew me to them and inspired me to paint them. It seems to me that cider gums are always on the edge of something. It might be that they're on the edge of a frost pocket where nothing else grows, or on the edge of a button grass plain, or on the shore of a lake. They're quite buttressed and rough at the base, but have limbs that form these beautiful serpentine shapes. I find them quite anthropomorphic, like old men. When I go back to the Highlands after a passage of time, it's like meeting up with old friends. I was painting in solid colours. There's none of the transparent glazes of colour that have the effect of enriching the light, giving a sense of the surface emitting light. So that's why the paintings from that time look a little bit dead to me now. The value of those paintings is probably in the way they capture the patterns in the bark. Patterns in nature are very attractive to artists because painting them has a kind of hypnotic effect. My use and handling of colour have improved since I painted cider gums for the first time. I'm not sure I want to start another cider gum cycle because I'm very prone to obsession, and I could easily go down a rabbit hole. But who knows, I wouldn't rule it out. I was told by someone that they observed a woman weeping in response to one of my paintings, because something in the work had profoundly moved her. That was the most satisfying response. Because one of the things I always hope to do in my work is to move people, to lead them towards an emotional response to the natural world. The experience of nature is something of a memento mori. It reminds you that life's short and we can't take anything with us. We need to value what we still have and try, in fact, to increase what we have to improve the natural world through conservation. When I see that the cider gums are declining, it's sad. Seeing a natural environment you knew in your youth going into decline, knowing that your grandchildren will never have the chance to experience it in the way you did, it's profoundly depressing. There's no other way to put it. If my paintings outlive the cider gums, well, that's a tragedy.